Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jessica, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make this super cute and super easy Halloween special spider fillet blanket. Initially I thought of using black yarn for this blanket, but then I ended up working it with a gray colored yarn. If you've ever used black colored yarn, I would love to know what all projects you've made with black yarn and how's your experience using a black colored yarn. Please leave a comment below if you've used a black colored yarn. I would love to hear your experience. And all the yarn details and the materials that I've used for this blanket are all listed in the description box, and I also have a downloadable PDF on my Etsy shop for this pattern. I will leave a link of that pattern in the description as well. And you can make this blanket in any size you need. You can make it as wide and as long as you need, as I'm going to give you all the stitch multiples and row repeats for this pattern, which makes it really very easy to make it in any size. All the information about size alterations are also given in the written pattern. If you're following along, it is very simple and easy to follow. So I highly recommend using the written pattern along with this video tutorial so that it becomes really very easy to make this blanket. And before we start the video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, do hit that subscribe button and also that bell notification so that you never miss out on any of my future videos. With that said, let's start with this super cute spider fillet blanket. To start this blanket, we start by making a slip knot. You can do this in whichever way you prefer, but this is how I do it. If you are an absolute beginner, I have a detailed video on 3 simple ways to make a slip knot, which I will link in the description box and also put it right here in the cards, so you can check it out if you're an absolute beginner. Now once you have your slip knot ready, we make our foundation chain, and for this pattern we need our foundation chain to be in multiples of 33. So pick any number which is a multiple of 33. It can be 99, 132, 165 and so on. Just pick a number which is a multiple of 33 and start chaining your foundation chain until you get the width of your blanket. For this video I am just making a sample of 66 stitches, so I'll go ahead and make my foundation chain and be right back. So here I'm back with my foundation chain of 66 stitches, which is a multiple of 33. Once you have your foundation chain in multiples of 33, then add 2 more chains for turning. So I have 66 chains right now. I will add 2 more. 1, 2. These 2 chains do not count as anything, they are just turning chains. Now we will skip 3 chains, first 3 chains, so 1, 2 and 3. Skip these 3 and we start our first row, row 1. So once we skip these 3 chains, in that 4th chain make a double crochet. Double crochet is yarning over. Insert your hook in that 4th chain, yarn over again, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, 1, 2 and 3. Now yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, again yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. That's a double crochet. These 3 chains that we skipped earlier counts as our first double crochet. This was our second double crochet. Now in the next chain make another double crochet, again in the next make a double crochet. Now in the same way, keep making double crochets in every chain along your foundation chain, and I'll meet you back at the end of the row. So here I'm at the end of row 1, and the total number of stitches that you should have after every row should be that multiple of 33 that you picked for your foundation chain. I've taken 66 chains for my foundation chain, so I will have 66 stitches at the end of every row. If you have taken 99 for your foundation chain, you should have 99 stitches at the end of every row. And likewise, whatever number you have picked as that multiple of 33, you will have those many stitches at the end of your rows. So now to begin row 2, we will not chain 3. For me, chain 3 doesn't work because it gives me a big gap at the beginning of every row. So instead I make a chainless turning double crochet stitch And here's how I do it. I simply turn my work after I finish that last stitch. So simply turn your work like so. And the loop that's there on your hook, just pull that a little bit like that. Now simply insert your hook in that first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops. Now you see these 2 loops, vertical loops that are there, the left loop and the right loop. Insert your hook in that left loop, yarn over, pull up a loop again. Again you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through those 2 loops. And that's your chainless turning double crochet stitch. Count that stitch as your first double crochet. Now for row 2, we need to make 8 double crochets. When I say 8 double crochets, it means 1 double crochet in 8 stitches. So we have made our first double crochet in this first stitch. Now we need to make 1 double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. So yarn over, insert in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Likewise, make in total 8 double crochets. So here I've made 8 double crochets. This chainless turning stitch is this one, and when you complete this row and come back with row 3, you will end up making a stitch on top of this chain here that you finished right here. If you're not comfortable with this chainless turning double crochet stitch, you can simply chain 3 or use whatever method you use to make that first stitch. Okay, so for the pattern we need to make 8 double crochets in the first 8 stitches. So 1 double crochet in each of the first 8 stitches. Next we will chain 1, skip the next stitch, and from the next stitch start making 15 double crochets. When I say 15 double crochets or any number and double crochet, it means that you need to make those many double crochets in the next those many stitches. Meaning if I said 15 double crochets, it means 1 double crochet in the next 15 stitches, 1 in each of the next 15. So I've made 3, and I'll go ahead and make total 15 double crochets. So here I've made 15 double crochets after this chain 1 space. Next we again make chain 1, skip the next stitch, and from the next one make 8 double crochets. So here I finished 8 double crochets, and this is your pattern repeat for row 2. What this means is that you will start from the very beginning and repeat what we did so far once again for every 33 stitches. So here I have 33 stitches more left, as you can see here. So I will repeat whatever I did just now once again from the very beginning. So I started with 8 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, 15 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 8 double crochets. So I will start again. 8 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 15 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, and 8 double crochets. And I end with 8 double crochets. So here I just have 66 stitches, so I will make this only one more time. I will repeat this pattern one more time. So you need to repeat this pattern for every 33 stitches. If you're a beginner, I suggest you to use stitch markers for every 33 stitches and repeat the exact same sequence again and again until you reach the end of your row. If you have made 99 stitches for your foundation chain, you should make this pattern 2 more times. So for every 33 stitches, repeat this exact same sequence. So again, I'll repeat, for row 2, your pattern sequence or pattern repeat is 8 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 15 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 8 double crochets. So I will again start with 8 double crochets, so here I've made these 8 stitches, that was in the very beginning. Now next we have a chain 1 space, so I will chain 1, skip the next stitch. Then we had 15 double crochets to work, so I'll chain 1, skip the next stitch, and from the next start making 15 double crochets. Here I have 15 double crochets. Again I will chain 1, skip the next stitch, and make 1 double crochet in each of the next 8 stitches. My last stitch will be on top of that chain 3. So as you can see, I made 8 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 15 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 8 double crochets. Then again I started my pattern repeat from the very beginning. That is, I made 8 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 15 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 8. So I repeated this 2 times because I had 66 stitches. So for every 33 stitches, you need to repeat that pattern repeat. For every row, you will have a different pattern repeat to work. Now once we've finished row 2, let's move on to row 3. For that, I simply turn and make a chainless turning double crochet stitch. Now for row 3, we need 9 double crochets, meaning 1 double crochet in each of the first 9 stitches. I've made 1 already, so I'll make 8 more. My 9th double crochet will be in this chain 1 space. To work in chain 1 spaces, you can do that in 2 methods. One, simply yarn over and insert your hook in this space right here, or you can go into, I suggest you to go into the stitch because it gives a better finish. But if you're not comfortable doing that, you can simply go in this space right here and finish your stitch. So I have 9 stitches for row 3. Next we chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. Next chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet. Again chain 1, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet. Again chain 1, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 3 double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. Then chain 1, skip this next stitch, starting from this chain 1 space, make 9 double crochets. So yarn over, insert in that chain space or chain stitch and start working 9 double crochets. That was my first one. next in the next stitch, and finish making 9 double crochets. And this is your pattern repeat for row 3. That is 9 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, and 9 double crochets. So repeat this pattern over and over for every 33 stitches. So I have 66 stitches in total. I've made my first pattern repeat for the first 33 stitches, so I will repeat it one more time and I will be at the end of the row. If you have 99 stitches, you will repeat this 2 more times. You worked it once, repeat it 2 more times. So for every 33 stitches, repeat this pattern sequence or pattern repeat, and I will meet you back at the end of the row. So here I've finished row 3. Now to begin row 4, simply turn your work. And for row 4, we need to make 5 double crochets, 1 double crochet in each of the first 5 stitches. So starting with my chainless turning double crochet, I make 1 double crochet in each of my first 5 stitches. So that's my second, third, fourth, and fifth. Once you have 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip the next stitch, starting from the next, make 5 double crochets again. So 1, 2, 3, fourth one will be in this chain 1 space, and fifth in the next. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 9 double crochets starting from this very next stitch. So 1, second one will be in the chain 1 space, third in the next, fourth in the chain 1 space again, fifth in the next stitch, sixth in the chain 1 space, seventh in the next, eighth in the chain 1 space, and then ninth in the next stitch, like so. Next, we chain 1, skip this next stitch and make 5 double crochets starting from the next stitch. So 1, second will be in the chain 1 space, third, fourth, and fifth. Again, chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 5 double crochets again. And 5. And this is your pattern repeat for row 4, which is 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 9 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 5. Repeat this pattern again and again until you reach the end of your row 4. Now for row 5, we need to make 1 double crochet in the first 6 stitches. So starting with this chainless turning double crochet, that's my first double crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th double crochet will be in this chain 1 space. Once you have 6 double crochets, next chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 3 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 3 stitches. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 4 double crochets starting from this chain 1 space. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and the 4th double crochet should be in that chain 1 space. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 3 double crochets. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, starting from this chain 1 space, make 6 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And with that, this is your pattern repeat for row 5. 6 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 3 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 4 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 4, chain 1, skip 1, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 6. So starting from the very beginning, repeat it over and over until you reach the end of row 5. I will meet you back at the beginning of row 6. Now for row 6, we start by making 8 double crochets, that is 1 double crochet in each of the first 8 stitches. So I start with my chainless turning double crochet stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7th double crochet will be in this chain 1 space, and 8. Once we have finished 8 double crochets, next chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 1 double crochet in the next. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, this chain 1 space, and make 3 double crochets. Again, chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 3 double crochets, starting from this chain 1 space. So 1, 2, and 3. Again, chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 3 double crochets. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, this chain 1 space, and make 1 double crochet. Next, chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 8 double crochets starting from this next stitch here. 1, second one will be in the chain 1 space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's your pattern repeat for row 6. That is 8 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 8 double crochets. Repeat this pattern repeat again and again until you reach the end of row 6. So here I've finished row 6. Now for row 7, we need to make 4 double crochets, 1 double crochet in the first 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, chain 1, skip this next stitch and make 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. 4th double crochet will be in this next chain 1 space. and 5th in the next stitch. Next we chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, and starting from the next stitch make 11 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 11 stitches. Once we have 11 double crochets, we will chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, and make 5 double crochets starting from this next stitch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And next we make chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and 4 double crochets. And that is your pattern repeat for row 7. That is 4 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 11 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 4 double crochets. Repeat this pattern repeat again and again until you reach the end of row 7. So here I've finished row 7, and this is how the spider motif looks so far. And if you're referring to my written pattern, you will notice a number sequence given after every row. That number sequence is the pattern repeat. So the numbers help you to work the stitches much easier. It helps so that you don't have to read the entire pattern with words again and again. Just follow the numbers and you can make the pattern repeat again and again. The dashes between those numbers are these chain 1, skip 1 stitches. So wherever you see a dash, it means you have to chain 1 and skip the next stitch and work the next number of stitches given for that particular pattern repeat. So I highly recommend using the written pattern along with the video so that it becomes really very easy to work this blanket. So next for row 8, we will just turn our work, and for row 8 we need 6 double crochets. So 1 double crochet in the first 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you have 6 double crochets, we chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet in the next. Again chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet in the next. Next chain 1, skip the next stitch, that is this chain 1 space, and make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Next chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. One more time, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Next we chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, and make 1 double crochet in the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet in the next. Next chain 1, skip the next stitch, and starting from this next stitch make 6 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that's your pattern repeat for row 8. That is 6 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 3, chain 1, skip 1, 1, chain 1, skip 1, 1, chain 1, skip 1, 6 double crochets. So that is your pattern repeat for row 8. Repeat this pattern again and again until you are at the end of row 8, and I will see you at the beginning of row 9. So I finished row 8, and for row 9 we start with making 11 double crochets. So 1 double crochet in the first 11 stitches. One, 2, 3, 10, 11. So here I have 11 double crochets. Next we will chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 9 double crochets starting from this next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Next chain 1, skip this next stitch, starting from this chain 1 space, make 11 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 11 stitches, 10 and 11. And that's my pattern repeat for row 9. 11 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, 9 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, 11 double crochets. So repeat this sequence again and again until you reach the end of row 9, and I will meet you back at the end. So here I've finished row 9. Now for row 10, we start by making 4 double crochets, 1 in each of the first 4. That's 1 double crochet, 2, 3 and 4. Once you have 4 double crochets, next we will chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 5 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 5 stitches, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Next we will chain 1, skip this next stitch and make 2 double crochets. First one will be in this chain 1 space. So that's 1 and 2. Next we will chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, again chain 1, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 2 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1, and second one will be in that chain 1 space. Next we'll chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 5 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 5 stitches. 3, 4 and 5. And lastly we'll chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 4 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And with that, that is your pattern repeat for row 10. 4 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 5 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 4 double crochets. Repeat this sequence again and again until you reach the end of row 10. I finished row 10. Now for row 11, we'll start by making 6 double crochets, 1 in each of the first 6 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Once we have 6 double crochets, we will chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and from the next stitch start making 7 double crochets. That is 1 double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. Once we have 7 double crochets, next we will chain 1, skip this next stitch and make 7 double crochets again, 1 in each of the next 7 stitches. Once we have 7 double crochets, next we'll chain 1, skip the next stitch, make 1 double crochet in the next chain 1, skip the next stitch and make 6 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 6 stitches. And once we are done with those 6 stitches, the pattern repeat for row 11 is 6 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, 7 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 7 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, and again 6 double crochet. Repeat this pattern sequence again and again until you reach the end of row 11. And I will meet you at the beginning of row 12. So here I've finished row 11. Now for row 12, we start by making 16 double crochets in the first 16 stitches. So simply make 1 double crochet in each of the first 16 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3. Once you have 16 double crochets in the first 16 stitches, next we will chain 1, skip this chain 1 space and again make 1 double crochet in each of the next 16 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. So here I have 16 double crochets done, and this is your pattern repeat for row 12. 16 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 16 double crochets. Repeat this sequence again and again until you reach the end of row 12, and I'll meet you back at the end. Here I'm at the end of row 12. Now for row 13 and 14, all you need to do is repeat whatever you did for row 12. That is 16 double crochets, chain 1, skip 1, 16 double crochets. This was your pattern repeat for row 12. This is the exact same pattern repeat for row 13 and row 14. So I will go ahead and finish both 13 and 14 rows and be right back. So here I've finished rows 13 and 14 exactly like I made row 12. After row 14, for rows 15 and 16, all you need to do is place 1 double crochet in each of the stitches across. So just make 1 double crochet in each stitch for row 15 and also row 16, and I will meet you back at the end of row 16. So here I've finished rows 15 and 16 with simple 1 double crochet in each stitch across. From here on, from rows 17 to row 30, 30, you will repeat from rows 2 to 15 once, and thereafter, if you want to make the blanket longer, you will repeat from rows 16 to row 30 again and again until you're happy with the length of your blanket. All the row repeats are given here on the screen if you want to note them down, and I will go ahead and finish my blanket and I will be right back. So here I am done with my sample blanket, and for the border I've just made a single crochet border. I'm not including the tutorial for this border as the video will become way too lengthy, and if you want me to make a tutorial for this border, please leave a comment down below and I will do that. You don't have to make this single crochet border. You can go ahead and make any border that you like for this blanket. If you make this blanket, please tag me on my Instagram. I would love to see your makes. This is where you can follow me on Instagram and stay in touch. And with that, we are done with the spider blanket tutorial. If you like the tutorial, please give this video a big thumbs up. And if you have found this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also click that bell notification so that you never miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a happy Halloween, and I will see you in my next video.